All right, here we go. Here we go. One take, one take. Let's do scheduledrafter.com on one take. Here we go. So jumping in. So log in just like everybody else. We're at scheduledrafter.com. We are a points-based scheduling system that is supposed to be about as automated as you can get and as mobile friendly, or as we like to say, made for mobile as possible. We want you to schedule everything from the palm of your hand. So when you first jump in, you may jump in and they'll have you build a schedule. Once you have a schedule, it should jump in with a bunch of test users, and you should be off and flying and get a good feel for what you can do real quick with what we have. First off, once you get your schedule going, it's pretty simple. I mean, you can manually schedule people, so jump in and take people off, put them back on, all that silly stuff. You can edit all your shifts and make them longer, shorter, add rest periods, required, optional. I'll talk about this right now, I guess. So you can, every one of your shifts, you can give its normal hours. So say it's an 8-hour shift or a 10-hour shift. You put those in for when it starts, when it ends. But you can also add a rest period, and that's the time that you say that someone should not do another shift. And that's kind of a hard stop. So whatever that is really the absolute minimum that they have to do to get rest before they do their next shift. So we'll have that option. We also have a thing called required shifts. So this is like how many people you need on that shift. So you can go up to, I don't know how many you can up to. But, maybe you have one or two that you have to have it on there. But you can also have optional. So put like 2 or 3 people that you would like to have on there. And the auto scheduler will first try to fill all your requireds over, say, the month. And then we'll try to do the optionals after that. But, it's a little more intricate than that and how it works. But simplifying it for you, that's how you should think about it. So that's it. I mean, I think all the bells and whistles you would expect out of a regular scheduling app that is completely mobile friendly. We have, you can see here, this one's already been scheduled, this February schedule. Let's jump into the schedule and you can see that. That's going to be over in the manager's menu here. This is kind of the user's menu, which has got the normal user's menu look to it. This is the manager's menu over here. Jump into that. Find your scheduler. Let's see. I think this is the one I like to use the most. So, these generics labeled or names for the schedules, you guys can name them whatever you want. You can call it like Red Lobster South or Nursing Wing North or whatever you feel like. The names are optional. For our templates, though, they tend to be pretty generic like this, so you kind of get an idea about what you're getting with the template. So this 24-hour coverage covers the full week. There's 24 users on it. Let's go to the next week, the next month, since we're halfway through this one. And this one hasn't been scheduled yet. Nice. So when you jump in, you can see someone's rank list right away as a scheduler. So I'm the manager for this. And this is me. I'm Christopher Robin in this, and this is my rank list. So this is how I've set my preferences for this month. And you can see it looks like I do not want Thursday. So all my Thursdays are red. And we'll go through the rank list in a minute, but I'll just show you how this works. All my Thursdays are red, and on top of that, I've even ranked some unavailables, or actually a lot of unavailables in green, so that means I really want the unavailables. And if I ordered this by rank, you'd see those unavailables are the top thing that I want, right? And then after that, it starts going into the other things I want, and then the others are red. So let's see. Let's jump into scheduling this. Hit the auto scheduler. And it's running. It's now scheduling everybody in the system, everybody you have. It will start by first trying to schedule like your very high priority people, which is, most people are standard priority. And so we'll schedule them kind of first, and then after that, it will work through the lower priority people. So you have a way of setting everybody up initially so that your more prized people get what they're used to getting if they're normally getting some sort of more high preference in that. So you can see from this, I wanted these unavailable, so I got them, and then I ended up getting some swings, some nights, and that. But you'll see my first picks were probably these unavailables, and so that kind of filled up my best picks, and after that, I kind of got what was left. If you go to somebody else, you can see my points dropped too. I was well off before that, but after they ran, I guess, February, it looked like I lost some points. And so I'm just middle class now. But you'll look at some of these other, like here's now, I guess user 4 is now well off. And you can see from that, they got a lot of middle of the week shifts. And, some of the weekend stuff and that. And so you can see from that, the managers can run that pretty easily. It's easy to clear a schedule too if they want to. This will clear everything that happened for that schedule. So it's all cleared, and you can just run it again really quick. And you see it runs pretty fast, like within a minute. You can get This is probably 300 shifts scheduled, which is pretty awesome, we think. Totally free. Everything's free on Scheduledrafter.com. We want you to have fun. We want everybody to learn how to schedule quickly, easily, and efficiently. We want the whole world to benefit from succinct, good scheduling. So you can see that. You can clear it. You can run it again. Let me see. Let me go to another one. Clear this one too. Let's see. And let's see what I... Okay, so this is kind of a more normal looking rank list. Let me run this one. This is going to be April. So we got the auto scheduling done. And if you're doing this on your phone, you probably only see this left side, so you don't get the full picture. But you still can do everything you want to do from this left side. All right, so then here's we go. So we got April ran. We'll turn trades and pickups on, and then let's go back to April and see what we can do there from a standpoint of trades in that. So now we're in April. I assume we're in that same schedule. Let me jump into one. So this is my shift here. See, I can't work that shift, so I just go down here. Say, okay, I need to trade. I'm gonna do. This will show any of the open months that I could use. Right now, I think I only have April open. So I hit April, and it's gonna show me all my options. Go in here. Say I want to trade for this. Let's see, we're trading, this is the 13th. Say I want this 5th. Click in here, boom. Now the points are interesting. So points in general are going to be exchanged. They automatically get exchanged. So if you work, and this is really what we do. This is what makes us the best. So if you work, say it's April. April, next month is May, right? So say in April, I work a bunch of nights and I work a bunch of weekends. And at my shop, doing that really nobody wants. And so everybody's going to not want that. The system's going to feel that by their rank list and everything else. And so I'm going to generate a lot of points if I work a lot of nights and weekends during that month. And so the next time the schedule's run, which might be for May or June or whatever the next one that's going to be ran, it's going to calculate those points, and I'm going to automatically get those points and probably get a lot of preference, probably a lot of what I want in that month it's ran. And so that's, the beauty of our system. Now, when it comes to trades, you don't have to add any points. That's going to automatically happen. So if I decide to do this and say, oh, this is a Monday for Sunday, say that people don't like working Sundays like working Mondays. Well, if I do this trade, then I'm going to lose points on this, right? Because I gave up my Sunday that other people like to work. And it looks like user 5 will end up earning some points in the end. And that's going to happen automatically. I don't have to add extra points to that. But if I feel like it, I can say, let me make this a little bit more juicy and add some points to it. And you'll get a feel for how much is worth it and how much is not. But say I want to do like 50 points. So now that trade's in there. You can see here I can exit out of it. We have a multi-trade possibility as well. I'm not going to go into that because it's a little bit more complicated, and that's probably for another video. So you can trade anything you want. Managers can overlook and overview all those trades if they want to, but we really recommend that they don't do that and just try to stay and let their employees really have control. Trades, I showed you the auto scheduler. Oh, the rank list. Probably could have showed you this before the scheduler to give you a clearer picture, but I think this is still a good thing to do. Okay, so all right, so I'm going to talk you kind of through this backwards a little bit. So here's my rank list. So this is me as a regular old user. This is everybody who works at your shop or whatever you do. It's a restaurant. It's a nursing wing. It's an ER place. It's almost anything that has shift work or that needs a schedule can be scheduled this way. So anyway, so what we give you are options. So normally what you're going to do is if you don't like something, you're going to do what I did here in red. So you're going to say, okay, let's put these at the bottom of my list. Well, let me talk about this real quick. Let me talk about this real quick. So these buttons here it says top, before pass, after pass, bottom. So what does that mean? What is the pass? What are we talking about when they say the pass? The pass is in here. The system normally sets it for you so you don't have any trouble with it, but sets it. Where'd you go, pass? There you are, pass. Pass is here. And what the pass says to the system is, I want everything up to the pass. I will take anything up to the pass, even though I may not really like it. Everything after the pass, if somebody else wants it or the system can fill the schedule without me, I'd rather just not have it at all. So normally, most of your shifts are going to be above that pass. So you're going to say, I'll take them. I certainly don't want these nights here, but if I have to have them, I'll have them. You can also see that through that with the strike through. Everything with a strike through is below the pass. Those are the things I don't want at all. So Most of the stuff, if I'm just normally ranking, so say I want to say, okay, never mind, I can work Thursdays. Let me put Thursdays back to where they are. I'll just put them, let's go top. Let's put them at the top. Say I like Thursdays. So it's pretty simple. You just click them off. They're all going to go to the top. They go to the top of my list now. And so now I'm going to show the system that I love Thursdays. Get them all collected. So it'll show that I love Thursdays. And you'll see that it stacks them. So the first one I clicked is the first one that showed up at the top. And then it starts stacking them after. So if you're really smart, and I can title it, and I'll go back. If you're really smart, you'll say, okay, what do I really want at the top? Well, the really one I really want is this 6A. So let me go this way. 6A and this 6A, right? Say I really like those. And so that's how I would do it and then work my way up from the mornings. And now I'm going to have those as my most desirable shifts, is that early in the morning Thursday shift. And the system will remember this and try to kind of auto schedule or auto rank it for you as you go forward. And I'll show that to you in a second too. But let me just finish getting all these ranked. So all these are ranked as, now I love Thursdays. I went from hating Thursdays to loving Thursdays in 2 videos because I did another video before this. So now I love those Thursdays, but I love the night Thursdays the least. And you'll see mornings, and it slowly slips into the nights, right? And then I'm going to say, okay, well, these unavailables, I no longer want an unavailable, because what an unavailable says is I'm going to choose, my choice is to not work that shift, not work that day. And that's a little different than ranking other things lower. So normally the system's going to look at your rank list and try to give you what you want. Well, if you say, well, my choice is just not to work this, it's going to count that as your pick and kind of use that in the system. So you're going to have to pick later when you actually start picking stuff you actually are going to work. But that may be if you really, really want something, then you pick an unavailable. And that's a way to do that instead of being... just using your regular rank list and your preferences. And that's going to be kind of the game for you at your shop or where you work, is you're going to have to decide, ooh, do I want to do an unavailable on this and, waste a pick? Or do I want to just rank that whole day, put that whole day in red and hope I don't get it? So that's kind of what you have to think about. So I'm going to put these all after the pass, saying that I don't want them. Right? Because, no one wants unavailables if they don't really, really want them. So all those go after the pass, just like all the other unavailables. And there's no reason to get an unavailable if it's after the pass, right? Unavailables are not things that the scheduler tries to give you. So you should never get them if they're after your pass. And that's kind of intricate. Don't worry that much about it, but that's just the way it works. Let's go to the schedule. Let's do this. So this is March. Let's schedule March. And you'll see again from me, my new rank list loves Thursdays and has no unavailables that it wants. So let's run this and see what happens. And because other people may not really love Thursdays, I may get a lot of Thursdays. I did. So that's kind of a good strategy, because most people tend to like Tuesday, Wednesdays. And so I didn't get any Tuesday, Wednesdays, but I got Thursdays, which for me, it might be better, And that's the beauty of our system, is you can schedule to the finite detail and really get what you want. And so that shows you how that works. So I got my Thursdays. I didn't get I didn't get any unavailables, obviously, because I moved them out. So that's that. Let me show you how the rank list kind of remembers what you do too. So, okay, this was March. Okay, I think it was April. April's already been scheduled, so let me get rid of April schedule. So I got to back this out. Let me clear this. So April, all right, so let's see here. Hopefully I did this right. It's February, March. All right, let's get April. April, I think I now should. Okay, so April's this, but look. So you say, oh, wait a minute. Oh, April's got all those. April's already got all those. This is April. April's the one we just did, huh? Sorry, guys. Let's see. May. May is the one. Ooh, okay. May. June. And you can see that's already really been accounted for. You can see how the green part in the auto ranker is already taken advantage of what I had. So I can see that I've got very green Thursdays, right? Because that's the way I rank them. You go out to May, you get the same thing. In June, you get the same thing, right? Maybe July. Oh, they all do. So they're very green, right? So let's say April. All right, so let's say April, I decide I don't like Thursdays, right? That was kind of what we had before. So let me go back to that. Let's say I don't like Thursdays. So I'm going to say I don't like Thursdays, but I'll take them if I have to get them, right? So that's going to be before the pass, right? And let's say the ones I hate the most are probably the nights. So we'll start the nights. Put those right before the pass. Boom. 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 More nights. Those nights, man. Bless you people who love your nights. There aren't that many around. All right, give me about 2 seconds. I'll pop through these and get them all ranked. And you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, this is a little tedious. And I'm like, kind of is, but I think it's as tedious as exactly as it has to be. We could probably add a bell whistle or two more, where you can maybe rank the whole day a certain way. And that's not something we're opposed to. But for now, we kind of have it individual. So you can handle it that way. And what we're going to do is show you what we end up with. Boom. All right, so here we go. So those are all ranked before the pass. So if you look at my rank list now, you can just tell by the color. At the pass, it should start with all those Thursdays. So pass, and it's just going to go Thursday, 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 Thursday. It's all Thursdays, right? So we say we don't want it, but if we have to have it, we'll have it. So let's see what happens. So this is now April. Let's go to the scheduler. Go to the scheduler. Here we go. February, March, April. Wide open. You can see my new rank list. Let's auto schedule. So now I've just taken the chance, right? I didn't use my unavailables. I said, you know what? I'm just going to put it all at the bottom of my rank list. And if there's enough people in the system, hopefully I won't get any of those Thursdays. Oh, and look, I got lucky. You know, it's possible I could have got them, but since I ranked them all low, I didn't get them. I still ended up with some weekends. Actually did pretty well in the middle and did pretty well. And, you know, I've got a decent amount of points. That's what it means when it says good citizen. So I'm probably a little better than good citizen's probably better than middle class. Bare bones obviously below that. So I've got a decent amount of points from what I've done before. And so there you go. And so I didn't get those. Now the last thing. So that's how the scheduler is going to treat that. So if in general, if you don't want to work something, but it's not the end of the world, you just rank that day at the bottom of your rank list before the pass. So you will still get your hours and your money if you have to have it. But if it's a soccer game or something like that that you have to go to, then you're covered that way. Unavailables, I'd say for those more like hard stops, like I kind of have to have this. Like I don't care if I have to work all nights just to have this. I need to have this. And so that's when you'll use the unavailables. You can also do vacation schedules, and your managers can work on those. Those are actually very seamless and easy to use. And that's another way of handling it. So you can use your paid time off in that in different ways, and have a vacation schedule that actually overlaps with your regular schedule, and you could draft that like a year in advance even, and then that would then set this vacation schedule for the year, and then this would be kind of the nuts and bolts of the intricacies of the nuance of the schedule as the year goes. So those are things that you managers can do that are pretty awesome that we've already thought about and are integrated into the site. But you know, the more simpler thing, let's talk about the rank list. So, and the auto rankler specifically. So we changed things up. I think April, we said we wanted no Thursdays, but if we look at May, I think May's not going to know that yet. So May doesn't know that yet. Why? Well, because the auto ranker had ran before. And we don't run the auto ranker all the time. It just runs what it needs to. And so if you guys make a big change that you say, no, I want the auto ranker to remember this, then you need to manually run it. And so you just run it. You just go here and you're going to clear. This is going to clear all the rankings in here, and then use your previous month's rankings or a couple weeks rankings to figure out what you like now. So I hit it. Boom. Like magic, there we go. Now I say, all right, well, let's see how far in advance this has been run. Ooh, it's been run pretty far, right? So this one's been ran, so I got to clear this one too. And the auto ranker will figure that out. Now you may not have to do this many in advance because, you know, your system may not have already ran this far in advance. But that's the auto ranker. But it also shows you how the auto ranker works. It will do the work for you. And so you don't have to worry. Once if you hate the middle of the day, and you've basically made the whole middle of the day a before pass, right? You've done this. Like this is just your thing, right? You hate the middle of the day, and you do that for your schedule. You don't have to keep doing that. You do it once, you make sure and go through and make sure any rankings in the system reflect that. You won't ever have to do it again. The system will always remember that. It will just it will set it up for yourself. You can go on vacation, whatever you want to do, and it'll do that. So the auto ranker is pretty awesome. Takes care of that stuff. So that's your rank list. Messages are simple. Then you just put in messages here and start threads and all that stuff. I'm not going to go into that. Rank list, time clock. We do have a time clock, so if you want to clock in and out, your managers want to use that, start using that. No problem at all. Trade actions is where you look at all the trades that are outstanding for you. User reports. Those reports you can generate if you want to about what work you're getting. You managers under the manager menus. Something else can I show you? That's the scheduler. We talked about that. Schedules. Okay, what you can do about it? So you can turn the point system off or on. So if you can just have a flat system that makes it even every time it's scheduled, or use the point system, we totally recommend use the point system. Public template is for if you want to allow other people to use your template, basically. So if you've got other managers that and they like the way you schedule, then you can help them out by making your schedules public. That's not something you probably will do early on, but certainly an option. You can change the name of your schedule and edit those things here. That's not too big a deal. Oh, user information. It's just the information you request from your users when they sign up with you. So if you don't need the zips, probably less is more in this. Where if you don't need this stuff, take it off, and then then you're not sharing information with your managers that maybe they don't need. The frequency you can set a monthly, biweekly, weekly, quarterly, semi-annually, even yearly schedules, and that just depends on what you need to do. Most of them are probably monthly, bi-weekly, but maybe like we talked about before, if you want to do a vacation schedule, you can do a yearly or a biannually. That's your schedules, your things. Okay, so we call them things. I think to most people this is going to be positions. So this is like night nurse, night doc, dishwasher, bartender, that. And we call it things just to give you a little more freedom to get a little bit more creative with these. So you could call it, morning doc, South Hospital, right? And so that would be, at the South Hospital, this is the morning doc. And then you could have a North Hospital on the same schedule. And you could do it that way. Or maybe you've got 2 or 3 different sites you want to use, then you can name them accordingly and experiment with that and see how that works for you. You also have the option of, in your schedules, setting up interactions. So if I want to add an interaction, I have to be the manager, but I can pick any of the sites that I have a manager of, and I can say, okay, respect this site's overlaps. That means that, hey, when I'm scheduling, I'm going to look to that schedule first and make sure that I don't have overlaps. It doesn't go the other way. So it's just going to be, for this site, it's going to respect this other sites. And so you can have some that are subservient to others, or you can make them both subservient to each other in both overlaps and in hours. Hours you would probably use for most things, like if you're talking about waiters that are working at 2 different waiters that are working at 2 different restaurants, but you manage them both. But you can imagine a system where you're not doing that, right? So maybe I want to respect the overlaps, but I don't care about the hours because the hours happen to be like, I don't know, a different type of job or something where the hours don't matter. And I guess I never talked about hours, but obviously we're a complete scheduling system. And so when we set up our users, let me jump to there. We set up our users. This is just punching them in, gives them their names. You can invite more users here. There's plenty of test users you can invite, but then also you can look people up by username, first name, last name, and this is just what's in the system, and invite them. And that's how you can invite people in the system. If you want to send an email or text an invite link to somebody, this is how you would do that. Just you can pop up your email. You can use this link right here, in your email link or in your email. This will automatically send them to our site to either get registered and join your site or just straight join the site. And if they're already users in the system, we definitely want them to tell you that, and you can invite them directly through here just by searching up their username. User hours. Okay, so user hours. This gives you the flexibility that you would expect out of most scheduling apps. So you can change someone. So this is, let's see, here's Christopher Robin. I think this is my user in this site. You can change this person to a night person, right, pretty quickly. The all things is how many hours they're allowed to get out of all their positions or things. So I can get 140 morning, night, or swing in any combination. It doesn't matter. But if you want to make me a night doc, you just go boom, boom. Okay, it's going to remind me there's unsaved changes. So let me save that. So this is for February. So this is February going forward. It does say forward. And so now I'm a night guy. I'll show you how this works then. So if I go to the scheduler and I go to February schedule, March is scheduled, April scheduled, May's not scheduled. So you can remember, if you remember my rank list before, you could see all the other shifts on there. But now they're gone, of course, because I don't have hours for them. I only have hours for nights. So if we run this one, I'm now a night guy. You can still see the rank list is the same. It still doesn't like Thursdays. But if we go to the scheduler and go to one that hasn't been scheduled, is that May? All right, here's May. Oh boy. And as you can see, now I'm only a night guy. Very simple, very easy to do. Now, what that's going to do for me, more than likely, is going to help my points. Because most people do not like their nights. And if I'm working nothing but nights, once the auto scheduler kind of realizes that I'm doing that, it's going to start giving me some good points. So let's do the next month, see what happens. See, now I'm well off. I went from middle class to well off. And so now, if you also look, my nights are more concentrated in the middle. So I got the good nights, if there ever was one, right? But I also, the one thing I will tell you about the points is that they will give you, more points means you get more shifts normally. So if there's some slack in the system and say, it's between you and another employee, and you're both slated to get 40 hours of work for that month, for that week or month or whatever it is, and you have more points, as long as you haven't pushed all the shifts below the pass bar, you're going to get more shifts than that person because you're getting the preference. And so that's something. So you'll see I get these Sunday nights, and you might say, "Oh, well, you had a lot of points. You shouldn't get those. You should only get good stuff." Well, true, but the truth is that I got these over somebody else. Somebody else didn't get this many shifts, and so that's kind of the trade-off. And so if I really didn't want these, I would have to put them below my pass bar and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to use my points to not get these shifts," and that's something you can do as well. And so that's that. That's user hours. We did user hours, trade manager points. All that stuff's good. We're not going to talk about any of that. But look, so there's a pretty quick dry run through Scheduledrafter. You can see everything works pretty smooth. It's really easy to use. If you go to the website on your phone and just put it on your desktop or I can't remember what it's called. Oh gosh, the face, save it to your, what is it called? Save to desktop, save to the face of your phone, something like that. If you do that, then you'll have it right on your phone. All you have to do is click on it. You'll log in super fast and you're off and running. No app store to mess with, no downloads to mess with. We are all strictly web-based at this moment. We'll see if we want to do apps or not, but we like that we are very universal this way and phone agnostic. Anyway, all right, guys. Have a lot of fun out there. Get on the site. Have a blast. Email or text us any problems. Just go to the submit feedback if you have anything to talk to us about, and we'll be happy to hear about it. Otherwise, enjoy your time with us. Let us know what you think. Yeah, love it. Later.